Okay, welcome back. Remember I said we were going to try to do some decimals on your own? I had to pause the YouTube video because it was getting too big. So these are the three I would like you to try on your own. So negative 8.4, subtract 6.7, negative 10.5, subtract another negative 10.5, and 0.41, subtract a negative 0.07. So try these three, see what you get, pause the video, and then come back and see if you got them right. Okay, the first one, we're going to take this and we're going to rewrite it. We're going to add the opposite. So add the opposite. Since these are both negative numbers, we can just add the two numbers together. So 8.4 plus 6.7. 7 and 4 is 11. Carry the 1. Make sure I carry down the decimal point. 8 and 6, actually 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 6 is 15. And the whole thing is negative because both of these guys were negative. So we have negative 15.1. All right, let's try this one. Negative 10.5. I'm going to add the opposite, so add, and the opposite of negative 10.5 is 10.5. So negative 10.5 plus 10.5 is 0 because you're adding the opposites, and that always brings you back to 0. All right, let's try this one. We're going to rewrite it as adding the opposite. So add, and negative 0.07 becomes positive 0.07. Okay, which one of these is the larger? Actually, they are the same sign, so we just add them together. So 0.41 plus 0.07. When we add these, we get 8 and 4, carry down the decimal point, so we get 0.48. And I hope you got the same answers. All right, we're going to try one more example. Let me clear this. Get a new pad out. New pad of paper. So example 3, and we did a little bit of this yesterday quickly. Example 3, we're going to find the difference. On a number line. All right, if I have a number line and we're going to write it this way, we're going to think about it this way. So if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, so think of it like a thermometer. So we're going to find the difference between negative 2 and 2/3 and negative 2 and 1/3. So negative, or actually, let's find the difference between negative 2 and 2/3 and 2 and 1/3. So negative 2 and 2/3 is somewhere down about here. So this is negative 2 and 2/3. And 2 and 1/3 is about right here. So 2 and 1/3. And we're going to find the difference between the two of those. So we take the negative 2 and 2/3 and we add its opposite, 2 negative. So adding its opposite. And let's convert these to improper fractions. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus another one is negative 8/3, plus a negative 2 times 3 is 6, plus another is 7, so negative. So negative 8 plus a negative 7 over the common denominator, which is 3. So we end up with negative 15/3, which 3 into 15 is -5 evenly. So the distance, we always take the absolute value. And that gives us 5, because that is the distance from here to here. And if this looks familiar to you, it should, because it's those range questions that I was asking you. What's the difference between the two of them? And it is a positive number. What would happen if I had actually taken 2 1/3 and I subtracted -2 2/3? What do you suppose my answer would be? And I'll give you a hint. This comes from what we did yesterday in class when we were trying to figure out what the difference was when we had on the number line. Remember, and we were saying, okay, what was when we subtracted 3 from 2 and 2 from 3? This one gave us 1, and this one gave us a -1. The absolute values of those two things were the same. Well, it's true of these two also. If you go through the math and do it, you end up with 2 1/3 plus, we're adding its opposite, 2 2/3. And when we add these, converting, actually, that's a 7. So if I convert these to improper fractions, I get 7/3 plus 2 6 8/3, which gives me 15/3, which gives me 5. You'll notice these two numbers end up being the same. And this ends up being the opposite. Kind of like what we were talking about yesterday when we were taking two numbers and we were switching them around. One gave us a positive number and the other gave us a negative number. Okay, so this was our our section on subtracting rational numbers.